In this video, guys, I want to talk about how to make your 20 volt and 18 volt batteries last longer. Now, I have done a lot of research on like Battery University and the e-bike websites, learning all about the lithium ion battery technology. And I kind of have learned two things. Number one, if you want your batteries to last a long time, in other words, you want to get as many cycles as you can out of your batteries, you want to do two things. Number one, you want to store your batteries that you're not using at about half capacity. And then you also want to keep your batteries away from extreme temperatures. So you don't want to store them in extreme temperatures. And I've really put this to use recently because I'm using the Waitley 20 volt a lot, the 6 amp hour, along with the cheapy Vannon, and then sometimes also the 1.5 amp hour DeWalt as well. I haven't been using my 5 amp hour DeWalt as much, either for my impact driver or my blower or my trimmer or any other DeWalt tools that I use. So when I don't use this very much, I'm now storing it at half capacity. And in the picture, on the screen, you'll see a picture of the battery with a little voltage gauge connected to it. And what I'm doing is essentially just testing the battery, but you can also use that to drain off energy from the battery. So you'll see in the first picture, it's like over 20 volts. And then the next one's at 18.8 volts. And that's where I'm getting 2 out of 3 bars. And that's a great voltage to store the battery at. And the reason, just real quickly, guys, is because lithium ion technology uses the positive cathode side and the negative anode side. And what happens is lithium ions, they discharge from the negative side to the positive side. And then while charging, they go back to the anode side, the negative side. And this charging cycle results in electrolytes that start oxidizing on the anode. And you get a plating effect. And it's the plating effect that causes the batteries to no longer be able to cycle any longer. And the interesting thing, guys, is that the plating effect tends to occur at higher voltages. And that's kind of the opposite of the lead acid battery, where a lead acid battery will do well at higher voltages, but then as you go through your discharge cycles, and especially if the battery voltage drops significantly, that's when you're going to get more of a plating effect on those lead plates. And that's kind of the difference between the lead acid battery technology and the lithium ion battery technology. So if you want to get as many cycles as possible, you have to reduce the plating effect. And that means you need to store the batteries at lower voltages so they don't have that plating effect. Now, an interesting theory is that if you really wanted a battery to last super, super long, like 3 times as many cycles as it was normally designed for, what you would do is you would actually charge up, like this 20 volt battery, you charge it up about 60%, and then let it come down to about 30%. And you just go between 30% and 60%. And that would probably give you 3 times as many charge cycles. Now, for me, and for you probably, that's not practical at all. I mean, we got to charge our batteries, use our tools, and we can't monkey around with trying to, go to 60%. But I just want you guys to understand the theory behind that. It's really interesting. Now, you do, maybe every 6 months or so, even if you're storing this at half charge, you want to take it all the way up to a full charge, just so the circuitry that balances the cells is doing an even job of doing that. And so for the balancing, you do want to take it up probably to 100% charge every 6 months. So keep that in mind as well. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to go ahead and tell you how to get the most cycles out of your battery. Because I live in Texas, I have to be very careful about not storing these in the garage in the summer, that's heat, and also not leaving them at 100% capacity for months at a time, as that results in the electrolyte, which starts to oxidize on the anode, giving that plating effect, which you don't want. So anyway, guys, just wanted to share this with you. I hope you guys are doing well, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Take care.